Episode 63 hourly podcast. I'm on after the duo Eds alongside my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. Today is what day today? Today's the 23rd April. We're recording this at 3:23. Spurs are currently losing 5-1 to Newcastle. Eth, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right, bro. How's the week been? You was a bit busy with work. I was a bit busy with uni work as well. How you been, bro?
Yeah, just catching up with uni work, with my job and coursework and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a hectic week, but yeah, this weekend was nice to go down to London to watch the O's be announced as champions, and that was nice, and to get onto the pitch as well, which was nice also.
So did you not know beforehand that if you win, you're gonna get onto the pitch, or was it just like a spur of the moment thing?
No, it was like so the fixtures went our way, which was the first thing. But to be fair, my brother messaged me on Wednesday night just saying, let's go to the game." We obviously knew in the week that we were promoted. So
Are you season ticket
um,
holders?
no, to be fair, we host a family. Well, not host a family. We host a player that plays within the academy.
Oh, okay.
So lucky for us, we get free tickets to the games. So yeah, we've gone to the game, not knowing that we were going to be announced as champions. We needed Stevenage to lose, and they were losing to Mansfield, who are fighting for playoff position. So
Yeah.
it was a tough game for them. So yeah, we went there yesterday. All we needed to do was win, and them to lose, and it all fell into their hands really yesterday, and they won the game. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a very good game to go and watch, and actually to see them be announced champions, which we've never seen it in the league anyway.
Yeah.
National League was different, but yeah, to do it in the league, it says something. So yeah, it was a good watch yesterday.
So who went? You, your brother, your old man?
No, just me and my brother,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yesterday.
So
But
like,
next week we'll all go together.
so in terms of like the season, because obviously I've not been watching League Two football, but like at the start of the season, was it one of those ones where like, you know what, we can go for it this year, or was it as the season progressed, you lot was like, nah, we can actually win this?
Um, I think it was a case that we were kind of favourites for playoffs, I think. And
Okay.
I think as Leyton Orient fans, I think we don't really expect too much. I think you expect them to have a decent season, to be in and around it. But the way they started, I believe it was they were unbeaten in 10 games in the first 10 games. And that in any league you can go on and try and
Yeah.
progress and try
Yeah.
and fight for those promotion spots and playoff spots. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were just seeing how it goes. You never know with football, as we've seen with Arsenal over
Oh,
the last 3 weeks. So we were taking it cautiously, but we did have a good gap. It was about 11 or 12
oh,
points
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like,
since I think it's since January we've had that gap. Like it's been quite convincing, quite convincing. We've been in that pole position for since September as well. So it's been in our hands a lot of the season, but it's just getting over that line, and we did that during the week. So yeah, I was happy with the performance, and the group of this group of lads are just they are really good, and they've spread the goals out. We haven't had the prolific striker. Like our
okay.
highest goal scorer is on 12 goals, and he's our winger.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's crazy. Yeah, this team is it's done more than we would have thought.
In terms of your players, do you reckon you'll be able to retain all of them next season, or do you think some teams are gonna try to poach a few guys, or some guys now they're in League One, maybe they try, push for moves to the champs or whatever? What do you think about the squad?
Yeah, I think a lot of I think one of our top players, the one that's on 12 goals, Paul Smith. I reckon he may be pushing for a championship move.
Mm,
Yeah, he's been unbelievable this season. I think injuries in previous seasons have probably um, hampered his season or messed with his season. So yeah, this season where he's only had one injury and it was only for 3 weeks he was out. So yeah, he could go. Our goalkeeper, Lawrence Figueroa,
I seen him. Is
I
he the
think
black?
he's
Is he the one that I saw something like, do you have like 23 clean sheets or something like that?
24 clean
24,
sheets.
24. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yesterday was the 24th one. Yeah.
that's amazing, bruv.
Yeah. People will be looking out, sniffing out for that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
only 29 as well for a goalkeeper as well. So
Young, innit? Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, the champ he could possibly, and those two players I've just announced, they're on free transfers. They haven't signed a contract yet. So yeah, so it's annoying, but
Ah.
also they've done their service for the club. So
Yeah, but
can't
it's
really
one of those
complain.
ones where like if you want to push on, you got to keep a big guys, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is annoying.
I'm sure they'll try, but if a championship club comes, you can't
The
stop.
money, the money's different, isn't it? The
Yeah,
money's
that's
different,
it.
yeah.
I think we've been a stepping stone for some of the big players that we've had. Like Harry Kane came to us,
Yeah.
and just Townsend played for us. Like we've had some big players over the years, and they've used Leyton Orient as a stepping stone. So yeah, the ultimate thing was the promotion, and we've done that now. We're where we want to be. I think there was a 6-year plan since they were in the National League 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Tried to get out of National League, which was difficult, but they did that within 2 years.
Yeah.
And they've, I think this is the third year they've been in League Two, and they've done it. So yeah, they've hit their targets, and hopefully in 2 years, Championship, here we come. Hopefully,
How do you think you guys are gonna cope in League One?
I think they've just got to maintain just staying up. I don't think we have to be fighting for anything at the moment. I think just being stable, create
Yeah.
a team that
Yeah.
is decent, and then build on that the following the season. I think it'd be nice to keep a core of these players. I think Darren Pratley. Do you remember Darren Pratley, who played for Swansea?
Nah.
Played for Charlton as well. He's a really good player. But yeah, we need the core players, those leaders around the team to kind of boost the youngsters as well. So yeah, hopefully they stay up in League One the first season, and then they can push on from there.
Yeah, yeah. Because literally, like, because I wasn't really I didn't really watch much football yesterday. I didn't watch the 12 o'clock game. I was just
Yeah,
doing like uni stuff or whatever. And then I caught a bit of the Wrexham at the end. And then I was on Instagram, obviously. Then I've just seen Orient. That's when I've texted you. What did you lot win the
mm,
league? And he's like, yeah,
yeah.
today. And then I saw your story with your bro. So like when you like you rush the pitch, is it a case of like are security allowing it, or they be like, oh boy, it's just like don't be foolish? Like what's that like?
This has happened twice in my lifetime where we've run on the pitch. So the first time was a bit like that was a spur of the moment thing. That was like we were announced champions on that day on the last game of the season
Yeah,
in
nice.
National League. It was massive, and the stewards were like trying to stop us,
Yeah.
but they couldn't. We jumped over the little barrier thing.
Yeah.
I was like, "You're not stopping
You're
us.
not
Like we're
stopping us from
going.
it.
Like you're
Yeah.
not stopping everyone." So we've jumped on there. But yesterday they tried to get strings. They had like this little blue string around. It wasn't gonna stop anyone
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I think they know it's above their pay. That they're not gonna do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
It's not like so they opened up the gate for us. They were like literally walk
Go,
through.
go, yeah, go on, yeah.
So yeah, they let everyone go in. It was the groundsman
Yeah, I
that
was
you
gonna say
can
the
see like
groundsman's having a mare,
no,
innit? He's having
no
a mare.
there was two groundsmen like standing as we were coming off, and you could see they're shaking their heads like, oh,
Ah.
what are we gonna do now? Like kids doing these slides and everything.
Oh,
People taking the piss yesterday. Like
yeah,
they
of
were
course.
really like people taking grass and picking grass. To be fair, it's the end of the season, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure the
yeah.
grass is gonna get relayed or they're gonna strip the grass anyways. But yeah, the groundsmen were pissed
Yeah, of
yesterday.
course they are. That's what my first thought was thinking. The groundsman's probably thinking, for fuck's sake, like
Yeah,
he's probably thinking it could have. To be fair, at the end of the day, most of the time, groundsmen's a fan of the teams they work for as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
as much as they're annoyed, they're obviously happy as well. The fact that you lot have
yeah,
won the league, in it.
yeah. That's it. I think that Leyton Orient as a club, they are very much a family club, and
Close knit community club,
it's
innit?
it's not it's not rowdy in the terms of like just going for it. It was quite nice, the atmosphere. It wasn't like people jumping up and like doing
What's the
overly
fan
doing it.
base like? Is it predominantly like guys? Is it a mixture? Are there families? Are
It's
there
a
young
mix.
kids?
It's a
What's it
mix.
like?
Yeah, it's a mix. There's a lot of family clubs. I think around East London, Leyton Orient are everyone's second team. I think
Yeah.
around East London, people are typically Spurs, West Ham, maybe Chelsea, Arsenal, and those sorts of clubs.
And then Orient.
Um, but Orient comes second to
Yeah, yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just affordable for families to go and watch it and
Yeah.
to have that football atmosphere. To go and chat with your mates and stuff. Yeah, it is such a nice club.
And in terms of obviously it's League One now, more money. Um, what positions do you think you lot need to like strengthen up on, or is there any players that are rumored to be coming through in the window?
I think they kind of need to strengthen in every position. I
Okay.
think you have to have you have to have some sort of backup. If these players are linked to other teams, I think you've got to go out first thing, go and sign a whole new 11 pretty much.
Mm.
Um, there isn't really any youngsters that are tipped to come through. I think we've had a youngish squad anyway throughout this season, so um, I think they'll try and go again and try and stay within that first 11. Um, but yeah, and to be fair, there's not been any links to any Championship or League One players that we're linked to. That we're on a small budget anyway. I don't think we spend that much in the summer. We got about 5 loan players. We've got El Mazzuni, who's from Ipswich. Um, we would love to keep him on, but I don't know how his salary is or
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
fee they would want. Someone like him would we need. Like, he's a holding centre mid that does the job. He's only 21, and I think League One is probably his level.
Yeah.
So that would be nice to keep him. Obviously, I spoke about the goalkeeper. I think London also helps
I
in
was just
trying
about to
to.
say that. I was just about to say that because Ronaldo, they did a documentary on DAZN. I haven't watched it, but there was on one of the clips they were saying, or it might have been Tifo Football that said where their team is located in Spain. Obviously, the fact that he's a Real Madrid legend and stuff like that, like a lot of the Madrid teams, um, loan out players to them because it's only 2 hour drive. So they can stay at home while commuting there and then still train with their team
Yeah,
on the weekday. So so touching on what you're saying, London helps, isn't it, with that fact, isn't it?
yeah, defo helps with keeping play retaining these players as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of lucky in their situation. So hopefully we get a few loan players from the likes of Tottenham, West Ham, um, and other Championship squads around London. So yeah, I think we'll do fine next season. I'm hopeful that they just stay in League One
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's big teams in League One. So
Yeah.
the likes of Bolton, Wickham, Derby are still in there. Sheffield Wednesday might not make it now
What
with
about
the
Charlton? Are they League One?
Charlton are League One
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Big
So
club. Big
yeah,
club.
there is big teams around there. So yeah, the away days are going to be brilliant next season for any
TV
player.
coverage, isn't it? It's a bit of TV coverage as well.
I mean, this season has been it's been quite poor. We were only shown once on
Yeah.
Sky, and that was, I think, it was a big it was the top two clash. It was Stevenage against us, so which was a poor showing, to be fair. It was 0-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to be shown more on TV. Like,
Yeah.
the league football needs to be shown more.
It does. It does. I don't think it helps that the league football shows on the same time as match of the day.
Match
That
of the
that that,
day,
that,
it
that
doesn't
don't
make
help.
no
That
sense.
makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like the only reason I didn't even know there was a show is only because I've switched over from BT to Sky and I'm looking through the thing. I was like, oh snap! Like, so I watched it because
Yeah.
it runs longer as well, and I was like, this makes no sense.
Hmm.
It's like people that complain that rugby isn't doing big enough. Well, your games are the same time as football games. It's not going to
Exactly.
that. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something they need to. I don't know when the last kickoff is. Obviously, guys need time to edit and stuff like that. But yeah, that just doesn't make sense for me. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else, bro? On the
No.
O's?
No, I'm just happy with Orient, and I'll see them lifting the the trophy next season, next week. So
You are now listening to Our League podcast, made in London, distributed all over the world.
And sticking with league football, Wrexham promoted to league. So I literally caught the end of the game. Ryan Reynolds and my man, they're laughing all the way to the bank, bruv.
Yeah.
2.5 M's, that's a bargain, man. That's a really, really bargain. But obviously they've got to
lost
renovate
a lot
and
of
stuff,
money.
innit? But they'll make it back though. You think of it, because I was looking at the boardroom or something like that, one of those pages, and they were saying that they've gone up in like 1 million social media followers. They've got a documentary and stuff like that. Now, obviously, the beginning, like any business from the ground up, you've got to spend a lot. But I reckon they'll be in League Two, maybe 2-3 years, push on, then go to League One. I reckon they'll stay League One. I don't know if they'll get any higher than a League One. Obviously, I don't want to put limitations. Wrexham fans, please don't come for me. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't, unless they got to build a whole new stadium stuff. I don't know. But I'm just happy for them, innit? Happy for them.
No, it's a big. To be fair, the fact that they won on that many points as well, it's never been done in National League.
Yeah.
I think they've drawn attention to National League, and I think a lot of fans will be drawn away from National League now, so they
Because
won't
of
be
them,
making
lot,
as
innit?
much.
Yeah.
They won't be making as much revenue from it. But yeah, a shout out to Notts County as well to
Big
really
club.
chase them down, and also to be on that many points and not win is tough. Like,
Yeah.
there's only one automatic spot in National League, and it's quite tough. So hopefully they make it through the playoffs and win at Wembley. But yeah, shout out to Wrexham, well done.
Yeah, shout out to them. Notts County, big club as well. All right, cool. Before we go on to footy, I want to talk a bit about the boxing. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. I knew Gervonta was gonna win. I'm just a Gervonta guy. I don't know what your thoughts are. Like, I've not watched too many Ryan Garcia fights. I know he's a good fighter though, but I've watched a lot of Gervonta fights. Did you know he's 5'5"?
Yeah. I always knew he's a small fighter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Knew he's a small fighter.
The he's hench as well. Like, he's compact, bro. But I don't know if you watched the fight. I didn't stay awake because I was just knackered, but I caught the highlights first thing when I woke up. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I expected this. I think Ryan Garcia even knew himself. I think he talked up the fight. I
Yeah.
think his game plan was all wrong. You don't go out and try and knock him out. I think you try and jab away. You've got bigger reach than him. But he tried to be slick and tried to think he was going to knock out Gervonta Davis, who has had people in front of him that have been taller than him, and he's found a way and having a game plan and knocking
Power,
him out.
man. Power.
He's got unbelievable power. Unbelievable power. And I didn't even see the shot that he made initially.
I didn't see it either. No, I had to see it like 2-3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way he took his knee, and he didn't want it.
And his nose was bleeding heavy as well. Yeah.
So yeah, fair play to Gervonta Davis. I think Ryan Garcia comes back. I don't know whether there'll be a rematch clause. I don't know whether there is. But yeah, I think Ryan Garcia comes back and has a different game plan, or has a different style going forward now, because he can't be rash like that and try and go and knock out someone.
Talk a lot of smack as well. But what's your thoughts on the whole boxing thing, talking smack? Are you a fan of it, or do you think just let the boxing do the talking? Because a lot of people always get onto like AJ because he carries himself in a gentleman-like manner. He don't really do the smack talking as people engage with him. Obviously Gervonta is a big smack talker. Ryan's a bigger smack talker. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Me, I don't know. I'm split on it really. I don't, because people say they do it to sell fights, but end of the day, if I want to see a guy fight, I'm gonna watch the fight. I don't know, maybe just because I'm a fan of sports anyway, whereas maybe a casual fan needs that selling. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think I need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if it's a plain fight that's not got anything to it, I'm not gonna watch it. It needs something behind it. It needs some sort of history, like some sort of smack talk, or something needs to be drawn out. Like, they need to go bring receipts or something to the table, and then you can't. I think that's what Muhammad Ali did. Like, he brought that entertainment before the fight even started. So I think a lot of boxing fans need that smack talk, need that trash talk, because it sells fights. We all know it. It sells fights.
if you're Ryan Garcia and Gervonta says, "Do you want to bet the whole purse?" and you say, are you gonna let your ego get in the way and say yes? So you're like, "Nah, I'm cool, bro." I mean,
No,
obviously Gervonta kept him.
yeah, you've
Javante let
got
him
it.
keep it, but still, I'm saying, yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
You've got to believe in yourself as well. This is the thing.
The whole purse. The whole purse. And what about if he said, nah, fuck that, give me my whole purse? Like, well, you got
Well, that's you. That's the bet, isn't it? You've worked that hard, and you lost. He took a knee. He could have played. He could have really carried on. Like I imagine a lot of
You
boxing
reckon
fans
he
are.
probably broke his rib? He probably broke his rib.
Yeah, maybe. But a lot of boxing fans would be like, he was talking that much smack. Like
Yeah.
you've got to. He was like, I'm willing to die in the ring and stuff like that. And then you see that. I'm like, he isn't. He's not willing to die in the ring.
Yeah, nah. It was a wild one. But yeah, like, and then a lot of the reporters were saying Haney or Shakur Stevenson next. Who would you like to see?
I think I'd like to see Shakur
I was
Stevenson
gonna say that
first.
as well.
Yeah, I think he's one of my favorite fighters out
Yep,
there at the
100%.
moment. I think
100%.
he's very skilled at what he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't rely on that power punch as well. He's very skilled. So
He's just
yeah,
a
I'd like
good
to see
boxer.
that.
Just a
Yeah,
good boxer, innit?
yeah, yeah. I think Gervonta would have real problems against him. So I think he may dodge him for a
Do you
bit.
reckon?
Yeah,
He seems a bit more confident with Devon, innit?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
I can
they've
see him
sparred
beat
before.
Devon. I can see him beating Devon.
You are now listening to Our League podcast, made in London, distributed all over the world.
Napoli won, AC Milan won, but AC Milan go through to the semi-final. I don't know if you watched this game, but in terms of, they're saying this is AC's first semi since what, 07, something like that?
Yeah, 07. Yeah.
Their downfall's actually been wild. Like, Italian football is actually, I mean, obviously we've got two teams in the semis now, we'll talk about that, but like, that's actually crazy to think it's their first one since 07, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and that was the last time they won the Champions League as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, they've had a bad downfall, and to be fair, their come up last season was quite remarkable. Like, I think they obviously did spend quite a bit, so I think that helped that team. But yeah, no, it's been crazy. They've had a crazy season in the league as well. So yeah, I was surprised that they beat Napoli the way that they did. But yeah, hopefully we get a good match in terms of the Milan derby.
Yeah. Rafael Leao, what have you made of his development? He is so silky. He's improved so much in the last couple of years, hasn't he?
Yeah, everything about him. I think he's so raw at Lille.
Yeah.
And I didn't know whether he could maybe transition that to Italian football, but he has, and he's come on leaps and bounds. And yeah, to be fair, I wanted to see him at Chelsea last season.
It's not too late, brother. It's not too late.
Well, it's not
Bowley's
too
got the
late,
money.
but how many wingers do we want? That's the question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, because a lot of people are saying it's Thierry Henry-esque, but and his dribbling ability, yes, phenomenal. I just hope he doesn't go to a team and the manager tries to change him to an out and out nine. I think certain guys, like, just let them play out on the wing and then like swift in and out, in and out. I think. Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 2. Rodrigo got both in the 58th and the 80th minute. But Chelsea, they had chances to. You lot are just lacking a goal scorer. That's it, man. That's my take of the game. I don't know what you've got to say, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's been the take of the season, really. I think with I think our excuse last season was majorly on the fact that Chilwell and Reece James was out the whole season and wasn't providing that service to Lukaku.
Yeah.
The fact that we've had both of them this season, pretty much in the second half of this season, and we've had Havertz up front, it speaks bounds of. It speaks a lot of the club. Yeah, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch this game. I knew the game was over. I knew the game was over from the first leg. The fact that Madrid were in second gear in the first game, and they ran us over. So yeah, I didn't watch the game. Expected the result. We're not clinical enough. We get chances. We don't. Yeah, like you said, we don't have a prolific goal scorer, and yeah, we suffered for it. Our defense is poor. I'm done with Cucurella playing as a centre back.
Yeah, why
He's
are
not
they doing that? Why are they doing that?
he's not experienced enough. You see the way he tracks the player. It's like a fullback in that position.
Yeah.
You've followed the player, and he's getting drawn out every time, and balls in behind are just
It's like
that's killing
basketball. You know,
them.
when basketball, someone targets a weak defender. That's what they're doing with my man, aren't they? Innit? Because
Yeah,
he's just not a centre back. Good fullback, just not a centre back, innit?
yeah.
Inter 3, Benfica 3. I didn't watch this game, but I was upset I didn't. But as we said, the Milan derby going into the semis. Inter, obviously, they said they're not going to retain Lukaku because of like he hasn't really performed too well throughout the season and stuff like that. But man like Martinez, is this next year? Does he make that big man? I think he signed a new contract extension with them, but is he one of those ones where you think he makes a big move to Spain or England, or does he stay? Does he stay in Italy and just be king of Italy essentially?
Yeah, I could see him ride it out. I could see him
Yeah,
riding it
I
out
could.
at Inter. If I think if the money is there, if they get a good deal for him, I think he goes. I
Yeah.
think Spain is possible. He obviously speaks Spanish. I don't know whether he can transition that into the Premier League. I think he is similar to Aguero in the way that he moves a bit. But in the World Cup, we saw how many
Yeah.
chances he missed. He
Yeah.
wasn't clinical enough. So
Yeah.
I think that may have put a lot of Premier League suitors out of the race for him.
Bayern 1, Man City 1. Kimmich scored a penalty, 83rd. Haaland 57th. Haaland missed the penalty. The Bayern fans are giving it the big into him, and then he scored. Thoughts on Bayern's performance over the two legs? I thought they were a bit lackluster.
I think they're crumbling as well. Like, yeah, the Tuchel. I think the Tuchel appointment was right, but maybe the wrong timing.
Yeah.
I think obviously yesterday they got battered. I think 3-1 against Mainz. And yeah, I think that's just their season. Abumekano, I don't know what's happened to the guy, but he just looks lackluster. Yeah, that TikTok that you sent me, that Uber Maguire.
Listen, them Arrow commentators are mean, you know. Upper Maguire. Yeah, I don't know what it like. Someone out there whoever put a bid in for him is thinking, cool, we got away with it because I'm not trying to like shit on him. He's a good defender. I like Upamecano. Just didn't perform over the two legs. I think possibly someone who maybe relies more on their athletic ability more than his defensive IQ.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a mare for him, wasn't it? He just didn't have a good game at all. But and then what's it called?
I don't know with Bayern. They've obviously got a good team. I think the Mane and Sane bust up was a bit of an odd one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't help a team, does it? Really, like
No,
that team chemistry. It doesn't seem to be there at the moment.
don't help a team at all, mate. All right, cool. Let's go into the Premier League, man. These fucking idiots. Arsenal 3, Southampton 3. We went down like I think it was like 1 minute. I put the game on and I said, wait, what? What's going on? And then they scored again. Walcott scored. And then I just turned it off. And then the group chat's going off saying like, oh, you're watching the game, like Ed's Wagwan. I said, bro, I'm not watching the game, bro. Like why am I doing this? And then we scored 2, then we scored 3. Like the youth is showing, the lack of experience is showing, no backbone. And I remember ages ago, people were saying like, Ed's like, be excited, like you lot are gonna win. I said, yo, man, take it game by game. Clearly, the pressure's gotten to the guys, hasn't it? You know what I mean? They've 3 weeks in a row, bruv. Like what? Like not even like Liverpool won. Okay, cool, I get it. Anfield, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, the worst team in the league, Southampton, and it just goes to show the lack of depth we have in our squad. Like Holding, you know, the guy's trying. You know, you can give him that. He's trying, isn't it? But we bought a centre back in January for 20 million. Don't even play. I don't understand that one, because clearly he knows that Rob Holding ain't the guy, so I don't know why you're not playing my man Saliba. So it just goes to show how important Saliba is to the squad, that they showed like our win record with him and without him in the squad. I didn't know like we would crumble that badly. And also what it is doing is it's highlighting again the frustrations Arsenal fans had with Gabriel at the back last year. And I need to say it again, I say it every time, I hate playing out the back. And if people always say to me, "Oh, is that how do you want to play?" I don't care how you play. I just don't want to play out the back, because the goal came from playing out the back. Because when you play out the back, you just invite pressure that's unnecessary. Like, you know, I don't understand the obsession of playing out the back. Just boof it to the side, bruv. Like, I just don't... Oh my days! I was so annoyed, and I've been so annoyed. And congrats to Man City, because they've won the league. That's it. Them. That's they won.
You're done. You're done then.
They're done. It's done. It's done, man. They're on 70 points. We're on 75 points. They got 2 games in hand. We've got 2 games in hand. We're not going to beat them. I can tell you, we're not going to beat. If we play how we're playing, we're not going to beat them. That's just.
But
That's
do you not think it's the Arsenal way to draw against
nah,
West
man.
Ham,
Nah,
Southampton, and then
we're not gonna. We're not.
nick
Have you
a
seen
nick
their
a
depth?
1-0?
Have you seen their depth?
I know their depth. It's just, it's crazy. The second win that they've had this season is crazy, because we were, to be fair, at one point I was like, yeah, Arsenal actually could do it. Like they're running away with it, and City were dropping stupid points as well. Yeah, I don't know with Arsenal. It seems like a mentality thing. It's the leaders. I think Odegaard, you're urging him to be more of a focal point, and he's got his head down at big moments. And Zinchenko's trying to be that leader, and they all just got their heads down. I'm like, come on, like
Yeah, bad
it was
spirit.
so early in the game as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a mentality thing. I think they're feeding into it a bit more than they should. And yeah, you can't be drawing to as Southampton at home, man.
Like, you brought Jorginho in for experience. Why are you playing? Why are you not playing him? Why are you playing Vieira, inexperienced guy? And Vieira looked all right, but again, he's coming from a league which is it's different tiers. It's different tiers. Like, you know, this is an important game for us. I don't know. Maybe they didn't respect the opponent enough. I'm not too sure. But when a team's fighting for their lives, they're gonna give it all they've got. They're gonna give it all they got. And I don't know. What's your old man saying about it?
Yeah, he couldn't say too much on Friday. Yeah, he's just frustrated. He's like he blames Ramsdale for the first goal. He was like, Ramsdale, I don't know what he's doing. He's just gifted the guy. He was like, he pretty much gifted them the result there and then. He's like, he was done with it. Yeah, he says Rob Holding isn't good enough, obviously.
No, not good
But
enough.
yeah, like you said, he's trying his hardest. To be fair, the goals that have been conceded, they haven't really been down to him.
Yeah.
It's generally Gabriel who's
Yeah.
been making these rash decisions, not following the runner with Theo Walcott. Yeah, it's been poor from Arsenal. I don't know how this has happened this season. Now, at this point of the season, to be dropping these points, man. 'Cause I would have thought this would have happened in December or Jan time.
I would have much
But now,
preferred it to happen in December or
I know,
January. I would have. I honestly, I would have. And just
I
say,
know.
if they said Arsenal, you'll come third, I'd cool. I'd rather come third than second.
Yeah,
I swear
yeah.
to you, I'd rather come third than second, especially like this. But
Mm.
what this does as well, this proves to me Arsenal's the most hated club in England, yeah? Because you got Man United fans in the comments, yeah, putting happy
Oh,
days. And then I posed the question, so you rather Man City win? Like, it's so crazy to me. Manchester United fans much rather Manchester City win the league over Arsenal. And then you got guys from Paddy the Baddy from Liverpool. He rather a Manchester team win over Arsenal. Where does that make sense? There's no way. There's no universe. I would rather Tottenham win a title over Chelsea
I know. I
or
think
Liverpool.
what
I
that
just don't get
is.
it.
You know what that is, though. I think it's the social media presence that Arsenal have. So since Arsenal Fan TV came on, I think initially that displayed that Arsenal are a club that
Allowed.
believe that they deserve something better than they are at the moment. And I think this hate has started from that. I think a lot of fans have seen that and like, why are Arsenal fans like this? We've been like this for so many years and so many seasons, and I think that's started the hate of it. To be fair, I'm not the biggest Arsenal fan. I'm not the biggest Arsenal fan at all.
Mm.
But yeah, it's bad for the Premier
Yeah,
League
but
if
you
City win. It's bad for
you'd rather Arsenal win than Spurs though. Like you wouldn't want Spurs to
Oh
win.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I don't understand. Like I've got United fans saying to me, "Yeah, we're happy." So you rather. There's no way I would rather Tottenham win a trophy over anyone. Anyone. There's no way. There's no universe. So I don't understand when I got buddies of mine that are United fans happy. They rather Man City win. I just don't. I just can't fathom that. That's just
But
thinking backwards
do
to
you
me.
not think like back in the day, like that Arsenal Man United rivalry it was quite big back in the day.
Yeah, of
Patrick
course.
Vieira.
But
I think that's
it's
what.
different now.
Yeah, no, it's different now, but I think people still have that mentality. They still think of the good old days where United and Arsenal had that rivalry, and they just hate you guys still.
I don't know because I don't really hate anyone other than Spurs, really and
Yeah.
truly. Like I'm not like you say, I'm like Chelsea, I don't really have disdain for them. United a bit, they're just annoying.
Yeah.
City is like as much as they've been dominant, like you're saying, I just don't get it. Me, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking at it through the lens of an Arsenal fan, but I just don't like. I would never want Spurs to win. There's no way I ever
No,
want Spurs to win.
no, no.
I just don't get it, buddy. But it's Arsenal's fault. It's the players' fault. It's the
Yeah,
players'
definitely.
fault. It's the
Definitely.
players' fault. I don't know, man. I'm just this. I don't even know if I'll watch the rest of the season. To be honest with you, if we lose to City, I'm not gonna watch the rest of the season. I'll just ask you what was the scores, bro, because I'm not gonna watch it because it's just a joke. It's just like I'd much rather we flop earlier on. I'd much rather that than get
Yeah,
everyone's
no,
hope up.
the fact that it's happened at this stage and the way it's happened
3
also
weeks in a
being
row.
two being 2-0 up in those fixtures, like yeah, it's poor. It is very poor.
Very poor.
But
Very
yeah, I
poor.
think just goes back to everything that everyone said. It's that leadership.
They've got 2 games in hand, and they're
Yeah,
5 points behind.
and they can and that Arsenal loss can maybe possibly be a
And
little blip as well.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just simmering expectations now because you've shown me 3 weeks in a row that
Yeah,
you guys when
yeah.
the pressure gets on you, when the back's against the wall, you crumble. Like so, maybe I'm just tampering expectations now because I just don't want to believe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the
Yeah, no,
case.
you've had that the whole season probably, and you've got to this point and you're like, well, I told you so pretty much. Like I knew there was gonna be a blip.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but I mean it is what it is. Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Jota scored 2, Salah scored 1. Williams and Gibbs White scored. Good goal for Gibbs White. Thoughts on Forest? They started off the season good, not so good anymore. And in terms of Liverpool, can they make that push for European football?
I think Forest they brought too many players in. I think that's
Like
probably
20 players, they're like you
yeah,
lot. You know what I mean?
yeah. They brought a lot of players, and it's hard to sort of make that gel. So, yeah, they've had a few good runs, but I feel like they possibly could go down.
They're 19th right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's not looking good for them. But Liverpool are a weird team as well. They're one of those teams that if you score, they'll outscore you pretty much. Like they've gone back to when Klopp was originally there, the first season
Yeah.
where Klopp was there. So they've had a really odd season, and I feel like they're similar to us, where they just kind of want it to be done with.
Yeah.
They'll probably get a European position. I don't know whether it'd be top 4 at this moment in time, but yeah, they've had a poor season in regards to what they've done previously.
Brentford 1, Aston Villa 1. 2-part question again. What are your thoughts on Unai Emery's turnaround of the squad after Steven Gerrard was with the boys?
Not gonna lie, I kind of felt like this could happen. Unai Emery's a really good coach.
Really good coach.
he's been at Villarreal, Seville, and he's done this to them. So
He got Arsenal to
I
a
believe
final in his first season.
exactly. So I believe he's at that sort of level. I think he's a mid-table team guy who could progress your team to being in Europe, whether that's Europa or Champions League. But I couldn't see him as a manager that kind of makes you fight for a title.
You don't think, no?
So no, I just don't think he's that type of manager.
Did you think he got a fair crack at Arsenal?
No, I don't
Year and a
believe so.
half.
No, I believe so. I felt like he was on the tracks to making Arsenal a good team. I think he was the first guy to play Saka, to play some of these youngsters and start them on their journey as Arsenal legends at this moment. I think they're an integral part at the moment.
Yeah. In terms of Brentford, I'm not Ollie Watkins, sorry. Ivan Toney probably on the move in the summer. Wouldn't be a bad idea for him to make a little trip down west and sign with the boys in blue, your lot. Would he be a good fit? If not, what would be the best fit for him in the Prem?
Yeah, I think he's a good striker. I think he could slot into Chelsea team. I think he's that type of striker that's physical, can hold up the ball well, can distribute. It's what the price that Brentford would be asking for.
What do you think he goes for? 60?
Yeah, potentially, and I don't know if I'm willing to pay that.
You wouldn't know.
His numbers aren't terrible, but I would want to see maybe 20 or 30 goals from him if that's the figure.
He's on 20 now.
And I want to see a bit more than that.
A bit more.
and a lot of those are penalties. I think
still got to score him though.
Yeah, you still got to score them, but
I know what you mean though. I know what you mean. I
need to see more from him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Obviously a lot of people. I've seen a lot of the rhetoric online this week is saying that Tony's better than Osimhen. What's your thoughts on that? And also, is Victor Osimhen a guy you wouldn't mind at Chelsea fan?
Yeah. I think a lot of those fans are probably Premier League fans that
don't watch Italian football when they obviously
don't watch Italian football. I think he could slot in to Chelsea. He's very similar to Lukaku in a way. He can bully players. He's good in the air.
He's strong, but he's skinny.
Yeah, he's fast as well.
Yeah,
like he's
rapid.
He's really fast.
And he's got a good vertical jump as well. Good vertical jump. That goal he scored in the champs. That header, cool, mate.
Yeah, he's young as well. So yeah, it would work out. I think it could work at Chelsea. Obviously having the creators that we do at the moment in this team, I think it could work at Chelsea. Yeah, we just need a prolific striker.
Would you like him at Chelsea? Would that be like one of your top options?
I think I would love him in the summer. I think that potentially is the only signing that I really want to see.
How much would you pay for him?
Oh,
that's 100 mil. That Napoli's,
Napoli's
owner.
I'd pay it. I'd pay
You'd pay that, yeah.
I think I'd pay it, yeah.
Yeah.
With some crazy contract like 8 years, like we do with the other players that we've signed in January. So yeah, I'd see that. I'd love to see that.
Is that gonna come back to haunt you lot? Especially if some of these guys ain't performing to the way they're performing, and obviously they're on long-term contracts, and obviously if you don't perform well, your value diminishes. So they're only gonna go to a club if the club matches or increases their salary. What's your thoughts on that? Because they're gonna cut down on that. UEFA's gonna cut down on that, they said, but I don't think it's until 2 seasons more. But
yeah, I think it could really have an effect on the team. I think Madrid is the big player that everyone keeps on going on about, and whether we'll see that potential, we don't know. But yeah, it's a tough one. I think these long-term contracts are really difficult. I think they're trying find the loopholes in financial fair play, and this is how Chelsea have operated in January with Enzo Fernandez, and not even Enzo. It was Enzo Fernandez, Madueke, Madrid. I think even that baddie shit
in Cuckoo.
In Cuckoo as well. It's crazy.
Right back you bought from Lyon, the guy you're bringing in from Benfica.
So many guys on these long-term contracts, and we don't really know what to expect. I think Enzo Fernandez is that guy that's really stood out to me. So he
What have you thought of
deserves
him?
that
You
one.
liked his performance this year? Because I haven't
He's
watched much of him.
very silky, very good on the ball, better than Jorginho anyway. So,
He's got
and
legs,
he's
isn't
young,
it?
so yeah, I think in the coming seasons we'll see more of him. Um, but yeah, these lengthy contracts are really quite risky, risky at the moment. But we'll have to see in summer and then at the start of the season because it's hard to tell at this moment in time.
And a lot of the paper talk are saying Poch, Company, are the two, and Luis Enrique are the three main candidates. What's your thoughts on that?
I think I'd be a bit downhearted if Pochettino came to Chelsea. It's quite negative football. He's quite organised. It's similar to Conte. Plays 3 at the back or 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Depends on the wing backs and yeah, I don't know if I'd like that at Chelsea. I think Luis Enrique would be nice to see. Obviously, being at Barcelona, having that tiki-taka style of play, it would be nice. And I think he would have to try and get the personnel in for him that works around that system. So I would like to see him. Vincent Company is a long shot. I think
It's too
that
early.
may have happened if Potter didn't happen. I reckon. I think
Do you reckon?
they've probably seen Potter being a success at Brighton and tried to bring him in. It
Yeah.
hasn't worked out, so I think they've learned from that, and I don't think that'll ever happen again at Chelsea.
So you reckon they're gonna stick to the big boys now? They're not gonna try and like groom a manager,
so.
yeah?
I think they have to. I think Roman wouldn't have done that. I don't think he would have gone.
He wouldn't have
out.
lasted a month with Roman.
Oh no, hell no. I don't think he would have even come in. They
Appointed
wouldn't
him,
have
yeah.
even looked at him as an
Yeah.
option. Like, how
Is
can
it
you go from Thomas Tuchel to Potter? It doesn't work out.
does it go to show like the big names, like you're saying, like you just said, like the big names, it does matter because essentially the players have to respect you. Like, what have you done in football? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And we was all rooting for Potter because we all like Potter, and again, English manager as well. So you want to see him succeed at one of the better English clubs, but there's levels to it, and I kind of think it's kind of a step back in English managers' progression because, like you were saying, because of that, everyone else is going to be like, I don't know about that one, mate, and the fan bases as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's just Chelsea. I think we expect a bit like Arsenal. We do expect quite a bit, and yeah, this is probably the worst season I've ever seen from Chelsea. I don't think we'll ever have a season like this again.
Nah, you'll be good next year.
Hopefully.
100%. You've got too much talent on the squad. You just need organization and stuff.
Yeah.
The Frank appointment was a joke, in my opinion.
Yeah, now it is. I thought it may have galvanized the team a bit for the Champions League, try and boost them up a bit, having a few legends around the club. But yeah, it's not worked out. I think there's a real bad taste around the club at the moment. I think there's players that you can see are just really down bad, like they don't want to play for Chelsea. So yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of that core at the moment.
Actually, no. Let's talk about Spurs because that game just finished 6-1. Bloody hell! Within like 1 minute. They scored 5 goals in the first 20 minutes. Newcastle did. I don't know if you saw the game. Joe Willock's pass. He played an outside foot pass and it went around the defender into Isaac's lap, and he's just dribbled it a bit, slotted it far post. Again, we started the pod around the time Joe Willock was sold to Newcastle, and I was very upset at the time because I was saying to everyone, "No, this guy he's really good." He had a stellar loan period at Newcastle. His first season there wasn't the best, but then he's come good this year. Obviously, he's got the right weapons around him. I think everyone's happy for Newcastle's success. It's a big club, historical club in the Premier League, and they're due for some trophies in their cabinet. What's your thoughts on them and Spurs being rubbish as well?
Yeah, it was a crazy 20 minutes at St James's. They just went out for it. They had a poor loss against Aston Villa last week, where they lost 3-0. So I think they had to bounce back, and they're obviously going for top 4. So yeah, no, it's nice to see Newcastle doing well. Yeah, that ball from Willock was unbelievable.
Oh my days.
And this finish was topped it off. So yeah, I hope Newcastle get that top 4 position and build on from there. I think there'll be a problem for a lot of clubs especially Arsenal. If Arsenal
Yeah.
don't win next season,
Yeah, I agree.
win this season. I mean,
I agree. I completely agree. The only advantage Arsenal would have is we're located in London and they're located up north.
You are now listening to Our League podcast, made in London, distributed all over the world.
What have you think has been the most interesting series from your perspective in terms of like storylines, player matchups, everything?
I think it's got to be Grizzlies against Lakers at the moment. Although other games have been good. I'd say the Golden State
Kings.
Kings is a good round at the moment. But yeah, it's got to be Grizzlies at the moment. I think the trash talking of Dylan Brooks is just I can't believe he's trying to do this to LeBron. LeBron's staying quite cool, to be fair. He's not biting to it. He's letting his game do the talking, and we saw that yesterday.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks is a shit house, but he said it himself. I poke bears. Like I feel like every team needs a player like that, but you got to pick the right guy to do it to. Don't do it to not the king, not the king. Do it to AD. Do it to D'Lo. Don't do it to Austin Reeves. Do it to Rui Hachimura, but not the king. Because that guy's 38 and he's doing reverse dunk still. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I like that series. Good series. Obviously, Jar was injured for the second half of the first games and second game, and then he came back this game. But yeah, Lakers are up 2-1 on that series now. Austin Reeves is my favorite player at this moment in time, balling out. Hope he gets paid. You touched on it. Kings are up 2-1 versus the Golden State Warriors. Draymond getting ejected out of the game and then being suspended. What was your thoughts on that?
Stupid from him. I think he does this usually around the playoffs where he just acts out. I don't know what he gains from doing stuff like this. And his comments of like, well, I needed to put my foot somewhere, and then he knows what he's doing. It's stupid. And he's an experienced player now. You would think
he's a vet. He's a vet. Yeah.
You would think he'd learn his lesson, and he's not. But maybe he plays off of that, and he needs that sort of burst or games off to let him build.
There's pros and cons of playing with energy like that, isn't it? The pros are like that guy rallies your teams to wins, but then also twice now in the postseason you've been ejected out of games. You're not your best ability is availability in sports, and you've been somewhat of a hindrance to your team. But do you think the Kings can win this series?
They showed in that first two games that they could. I think it'll be tough. I think Curry's obviously had a good game yesterday, and showed up, and I think it'll be a good series, but I think Warriors may do it in, I don't know. I think it could go 7 games.
It could go 7 games. It could.
Yeah, I think it actually could go 7 games.
Let's transition over to the Sixers, but sticking on the Draymond thing, should Embiid have been ejected? I'll start off as a Sixers fan. He should have been ejected. Yeah, we should have been ejected.
Yeah, the kick-outs, it's unnecessary. Yeah. He knows what he's doing as well. He's lucky there. He's very lucky.
It's because he's MVP. They never kicked him out.
Yeah, but Harden's one.
Harden's one wasn't an ejection, but I think that was the refs making up for the Embiid one.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think. I think the Harden one was just like a natural, like trying to create space.
It's a little yeah. I don't know.
He's trying to create space. Now, obviously, you shouldn't aim to hit a guy in the groin. We all know that it's very painful. Yeah. But I think it's the refs making up for it. But no, Embiid should have been ejected. When I saw it, I was like, "Come on, bro!" Because I watched it in real time. I was like, "What the hell?" And I was thinking, he was so lucky, but Karma might have hit him back because again, he had to miss the next game anyway because he sprained his right knee. But it's a good thing we closed out that series because we now get a minimum of a week off, and we pray that the Hawks Boston game goes to 7 games because then both of them are going to be knackered.
It looks like it at the moment, I think.
Both of them are going to be knackered. But Tobias Harris balled out. Tyrese Maxey's balled out. PJ Tucker 1 game free for us. He balled out. James Harden, you could see, obviously he's getting older and he's lost a step, but you can really see it in these series. Like years gone by, he would have went past the guy, like let's say Claxton's on him, he would have went past him and he would have done his typical finger roll thing. One, he's missed a lot of those finger roll buckets, which were before automatic, and two, he ain't got that burst anymore. And
No.
obviously he's got a player option for next year, but he's gonna decline and become a free agent. Should Sixers sign him to a long-term deal or max deal? Like what should they do with him?
To be
Maybe
fair,
even
I don't
sign and
think.
trade.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes more sense at the moment. Like you said, he's not his old self. I think years gone by, he would have burst to the burst to the hoop, and he isn't doing that anymore. He's very relaxed he's always been relaxed in his approach to the game, but it seems even more so now. He's very casual. But yeah, I would do the sign and trade probably.
But is from a fan's perspective, from a front office perspective, it's going to be very tough to like trade a guy who led the league in assist, and he assisted a lot of those to Embiid, who had an MVP year. Like, so it just depends what you get back, because obviously, apparently, the Houston owners really like fed up with the rebuild, and he just wants to go full into compete mode now.
Yeah.
I don't even know who would get back for Harden from. Who would I even want from them? Like, you can't take any of the rookies or the young guys because Embiid needs to
No.
win now. He's got a window now. Unless you do it with another team. Oh, good free kick from Brighton. Yeah, I just don't know, man. Right, cool. Miami Heat are leading the Bucks 2-1 in the series. They've been without Giannis for the better half of 2.5 games now. Do you think, like, I don't, Giannis will probably come back but he did hit the floor hard.
Yeah.
Does this go to 6? Does it go to 7? Like, what's your thoughts on this series?
I think if Giannis is back, if he does get back in this series, I think it goes to 6. I
Yeah.
think Miami are a good team. I think they've just experienced players that are locked in at the moment. But when it hits the fan, I think they'll stop playing.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy Butler is balling at the moment, and what's the guy who keeps on hitting the threes at the moment? Is it Stroich?
Stroud,
Stroud, yeah.
Stroud,
He's balling out as well. So that's what's helping them out at the moment. But they're not a standout team to me.
yeah, I agree. Phoenix are up 3-1 in this series, but the Clippers haven't made it easy. Like I said to you in the exact text, even though he didn't play the last game, I think Kawhi has been the best player in this series.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Clippers, who are without PG-13 as well?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Clippers have really surprised me. I think that first game,
Westbrook
even
balled out.
Russell, Westbrook,
Balled out.
like he's gone. I don't know what happened with him at Lakers, but the fact that Clippers have got him playing, he's their top player at the moment in this series.
Yeah.
He's going back and forth with KD, obviously, because of their times and
Yeah.
what's happened in the past. Yeah, he's up for it in this season, and like you said, PG-13 isn't around, and they're still competing. Although the last game wasn't brilliant, they let Booker just dominate. But yeah, this is also another good series at the moment.
If you're the Clippers fan base or front office, how frustrated are you at the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a guy who you drafted? Obviously, you traded him because it meant that you get 2 players, but you gave up a lot for him, so you don't have much in terms of like draft picks and stuff like that. And your guys every year get injured and miss like excess amount of games. Like, if let's say they're gonna get bounced out this round. Yeah, it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep, I reckon, 4-1. Do you just go again? Do you just like start again? Do you just trade the picks? I mean, the players. Like, what do you do if you're them?
It's a tough one. I think I don't know. I don't know. They've still got maybe a year with this team. I
Do you
think
reckon?
yeah, I think with these injuries, obviously doesn't help. But I think that's just basketball in general. I think injuries happen. Your big players are gonna miss a chunk of the season. We've seen it in the playoffs now. Giannis, Ja Morant going
Embiid,
out in the play, like Embiid as well.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, so these big players will get injuries, so it's one of those. It's tough to call, but I reckon they stick it out for a season and then maybe start trading their picks and stuff and try and rebuild again. But it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Boston are up 2-1 versus the Hawks in this series. I think they play a game tonight. A lot of rumors are saying that Trae Young could be on the trade block. What's your thoughts on this series? What's your thoughts on the Hawks and the Celtics?
That surprises me though with the Trae Young thing. I think size does actually matter a lot in basketball. You can see it a lot. Like the
He
way
just
he
can't
try,
defend.
he's fit. Yeah, he can't defend also, but
Can't defend.
he's also fearful to go to the hoop as well. Like you can see, he knows he's going to get blocked every time. Like these guys are bigger than him. He tries to use his basketball IQ a bit more, but yeah, he does struggle in the playoffs. He did it against Miami last season where he struggled. So yeah, that surprised me. But Boston looked good. They're all round good team. Tatum's stepping up. He's been consistent throughout the games that we've seen so far. So
I think
yeah,
Boston come
they
out the
look good.
East. I think Boston come out the East.
Do you reckon they'll beat you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. They've had our number. They've beat us like this season. They beat us 3 out of 4 times, and the previous season, like Embiid, just I don't know, they just got his number. And then in terms of the wings, Tatum and Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart, they're locked down. Do you know what I mean? And then defensively, we haven't got good. Those guys are good defenders. We haven't got good like
Yeah.
Maxi ain't guarding. Tobias Harris ain't guarding. We got PJ Tucker, cool, but other than that, I mean James Harden ain't guarding no one. I mean we got Jaden Daniels, but I don't know, man. I don't know. They've got our number, I think. And then in
Yeah.
terms of the guys they can get, send Embiid, they're gonna double team him. They got Al Horford, they got Blake Griffin, they got Robert Williams. Like they've got size, they've got athleticism, they've got ball handlers, they've got shooters. This is a complete squad, top down.
Yeah, they've got that experience as well.
They were just in the
They were
finals
there
last
last
year.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got it. I think they come out the East, to be honest. Denver up 3-0 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll ask you this question. Since you've watched the NBA, is Rudy Gobert the worst trade you've ever seen?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be now. I think even the little bust up before the playoffs with his teammate, like it was, yeah, just nothing seems to be going right there. The fact that they're 3-0 down just tells you all. They're gonna lose the next game. Yeah, they're just to be fair, I thought they would have built on it this season, and it's really quite annoying that they haven't with Anthony Edwards because he's a hell of a player.
I feel sorry for him, man.
Even Cat as well, like they just don't show up in the big moments. Like it is really frustrating. But Rudy Gobert, yeah, I'd rather not speak on him. He doesn't really do too much, does he? He's meant to be a big man, and he doesn't do much.
I hate saying professional athletes stink. He stinks. He stinks, man. Like, what does he do? He's a rim runner. Okay, cool. Defensively, he's good. Okay, cool, great.
Yeah.
But he can't guard the perimeter, which a lot of most of the you're guarding Jokic. He brings the ball up. He brings the ball up. He can shoot the free. Can shoot the mid range. Like he can play on the perimeter for a big man. Obviously, defensively he's poor, but offensively he's phenomenal. He's all rounder.
Yeah. He's
So
just a
what are you
playmaker.
doing? If I bring you out, then the lane's open. Then what?
Mm.
I ain't seen Rudy Gobert post up ever. Like I've never seen him in the low post up a guy. Like never. He just wants the ball.
And
At the
he's got everything to do that as well.
I just don't
It
understand.
doesn't
Like
make sense.
to me, it just looks like a guy who hasn't worked on his game.
Mm.
That's what it looks like to me. And they gave up so much for him. Anthony Edwards is going to sign the extension, but within year 2, he's going to opt out because you think I'm not going to win here. It's either that or they trade Carl Anthony Towns and try to get some picks back. I think because I don't know, man. Ending with the NBA, Knicks up 2-1. What's your thoughts on this series versus the Cavs?
It's been a good series, to be fair.
Yeah.
Garland played a good game in the second game.
Yeah.
He played well. But yeah, to be fair, Mobley, I expected more from him in this series. He's kind of been shy in this series at the moment. But yeah, New York are surprising. Brunson keeps on turning up for them. Randall had the nasty fall in I think it's the second game.
Yeah.
Which was unnecessary. They should have rested him because they lost that game by quite a bit of a stretch. But yeah, this has been a decent series. I think Cavs might do it though.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they may have enough.
I never thought Branson would be this good. When he was at Dallas, I didn't see him being this good. But no, he's actually like a really good point guard. He can be like really, really good point guard. I feel like they need a wing.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett is just he's not exceeded.
He's not doing anything. I think the last game he obviously got a few points, but yeah, he goes missing. He goes missing a lot in games.
He does go missing. All right, cool. That's been episode 63, Our League podcast. I'm on half of the duo, Ed's my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. Follow, like, subscribe on all channels. And that's it. We've been out. Peace, people.